easiest way that just the general public gets scammed?
I think we're all gullible to a degree, and we're all looking for that silver bullet, that get rich quick. And if someone packages it the right way and sells it to us, there's a good part of us, especially if we haven't made it yet and we're looking for that way to break through. Or
welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel.
City boy! City boy!
All right, man, I've been checking out this Tommy G interview, and I just decided to start recording what I was checking out because it was dope. If y'all aren't familiar with Tommy G, he's a super dope YouTuber, does journalism or journalistic style stuff, goes to the hood. He interviews gang members, cartels, police officers. I think he did some undercover work on Scientology. Super dope channel. He's super popping. Not trying to make comparisons. I don't know if they're cool, if they have beef. I don't know anything. I'm just saying I'm very familiar with Tyler Oliveria's work, right? Not as much Tommy G's. I was put on to Tommy G from the homie Don for his Kia Boys video. So anyways, I was just checking some of this out. Just wanted to, give you guys a reference point of who he is if you're not familiar. But you should check it out. Like you'll find something interesting on his channel. And this is on the Iced Coffee Hour with Graham and Jack. So anyways, I thought this title was crazy. It just says they'll get you. And it says the most common scams right now. So let's get into it. If you want to like, share, comment, subscribe, I'm Black Pegasus. Link in the description to my other channels. Let's go.
What's the easiest way that just the general public gets scammed?
I think we're all gullible to a degree, and we're all looking for that silver bullet, that get rich quick. And if someone packages it the right way and sells it to us, there's a good part of us, especially if we haven't made it yet and we're looking for that way to break through or get some money so we can live this life of our dreams. I think it's easy for those people to capitalize on that because they're tapping into like a basic human desire that we all have.
What are the most lucrative scams?
As of recently, it seems like running a non-government NGO seems pretty lucrative. I cover more of the street level scams. Street level scams, so I'm in the landlord business in Milwaukee. There's a lot of tenants that are very scared to send you any money through Cash App because they get these guys that will be like, oh, I'm the landlord, but if you want this, like send me 4 or 5 months up ahead right now. And then they never see the property and they sent the money and now they're screwed. But most of these scams are, like if you have any sort of common sense, seem pretty easy. Like if you're not in a desperate position, they seem pretty easy to see through.
They're getting better and better though. So there are two scams that have just recently happened to me, which are crazy.
You got scammed?
One of them I fell for.
Okay.
And another one I'll tell you about, which is crazy. The first one I fell for was that we got a podcast request, but they wanted to do a Facebook Live. And I distantly knew the person. So I'm like, oh yeah, this seems legit. The email was just like a random Gmail account, but like the way it was written is like usually pretty on par with our podcast requests. And so they said, we'll do a Facebook Live this date. And, as a thank you, we're going to pay you like a few grand. I was like, okay, perfect. And the day before.
That's crazy. I've gotten that email before. I don't respond to anyone who has a Gmail account. If you don't have a website, I just don't respond. Like it sucks if I miss out on some, but I've gotten that like multiple times. And now that I knew, cause like I've literally gotten this, oh, we're going to do a Facebook Live podcast, And it's always some Nike thing. And they're always like, we'll pay you $2,000 every single time. That's crazy. You got hit for that.
Before they say, hey, we want to make sure that you're set up on Facebook Live for this thing. I'm going to run you through exactly what to do. I was like, okay, fine. So we do a Zoom call and the guy doesn't show his face, but I'm like, okay, the guy spoke like really good English, didn't seem like anything was suspicious. And he says, okay, we have to make a Facebook event for you to like join us. And I went through and I followed his instruction. He was so fast and I was in the middle of doing something. So I'm like, just kind of like clicking buttons. And he's like, okay, perfect. You have to send this request to like this email so we could approve it. And it was to like this podcast email. And I sent it. Sure enough, the next day he takes over my Facebook and they start posting just like spam. It took me weeks to get that Facebook account back, but they got me like complete hook, line, and sinker.
Meta support system is pretty hard to work with.
Yeah, it took
Mark,
me.
if you're listening to this, man, I've been banned from Facebook Marketplace for no reason for over a year. Mark, we would love to have more people that are boots on the ground to help us with our concerns like Graham has here.
This was the other one that was crazy. So I know someone who
That's crazy. Someone tried to take over my Facebook like that, but they just hacked my shit, but they weren't able to get past something because they changed my name to like some Asian hieroglyphics, and I was like, and I couldn't change it back. I was like, yo, they're trying to. So I changed all my passwords. But I've seen that. That happened to one of my homies in the rap game. That exact thing, this exact same thing, and they took over his Facebook.
got an email from their work, and their work says, hey, there's a process server here who wants to serve you papers, but they don't want to do it at your workplace in front of everybody. So if you could please call this number, and they'll arrange a time for you to go and get served these papers. Here's their information, here's the claim number, here's their name, all of this. When you call the phone number, it says, hey, we have a debt outstanding for like $40,000, $30,000 from this company. And this is you, right? And they read off like your name, your address, people that you like are associated with, relatives, all of this, your age. Okay, this is the last four of your social. Okay, this is the right person. Yeah, we have a debt for like 39 grand. We want to serve you. And the scam is that they say, or we could just settle the debt. So we don't have to do all of this. If you send us like $5 grand, we're a debt collection agency. That's all we want, and we'll release it.
Because they typically negotiate anyways.
Exactly. Turns out the whole thing is a scam. The whole thing. And I started looking into this because I Googled the phone number. It turns out it just goes to a random P.O. box in like Rancho Cucamonga. And other people have said, yeah, they've done the exact same thing. And they go through your employer because they're like, the shame aspect of like, I don't want to get served papers for a lawsuit in front of like all of my coworkers. So I'm more likely to call. It's crazy.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I got scammed before. I forgot. I've totally forgot. I didn't really forget, but I'll tell you guys how I got scammed with my trademark. My trademark, Black Pegasus. Yeah. With my trademark, when your trademark runs out, I go through this company now. But originally I signed up for my trademark. Me and my homie figured out now that's crazy. I could use ChatGPT to do my trademark. I don't even need the company I go through because there's like legal jargon to get your trademark done properly. But anyways, we do our trademark. I think it's live for like 7 to 10 years, something. The expiration date comes up. I get something in the mail just saying, hey, sign this. It has all my trademark info. Send a check for $450, and we're gonna, re-up it. And I was like, oh, cool. So sent it. They cashed a check, whatever. And then, a month later, I get the email that my motherfucking trademark is delinquent. I'm like, yo, I paid to get it renewed. Come to find out, they never renew trademarks through the mail, through check, I just didn't know. So I called, obvious you can't, like they couldn't refund the check, nothing. I just got for it was $450 at the time. I'm sure there's better scams now. But yeah, $450. And I learned a lot from that. I haven't been scammed since. I'm like, yo, come arrest me type shit. Like if I get something in the mail, like I pay all my debts, I pay all my bills, I know all my bills. There's nothing gonna really surprise me. I get toll bills, from tollways every now and then, but this just like, I'm like, nah, man, I ain't doing it. But yeah, I got scammed with my trademark before.
Pretty sophisticated social engineering. Like to me, I like crimes that have a certain amount of finesse to them because anyone can just break in with a bat or do something like that. But the criminals that are able to use finesse, I'm very fascinated by because as much as I know that what you're doing is bad, there's an element of skill. Like how are you even doing this or getting away with it? That's intriguing to me.
Are a lot of these criminals that you talk to that are effective and successful at committing crimes actually pretty intelligent?
A fair amount. There's like the Felixes of the world are pretty rare. Like the guys that can that could have been an IT specialist or in finance or different. Like there are some of these guys that are really, really smart and the way they know cars is better than like almost any car expert at a dealership would ever know a car. There's some of those guys, but most of the guys I think I come in contact with are the more brute force criminals.
Yeah, Punchmade Dev. How is he not in jail? He's just this brazen.
Explain this for those.
So you did a video, and he's the only one that I remember that was like not blurring his face, was like out in the open. Here's who I am. Head to toe designer clothes, and was like
he's
openly skimming debit card information and then buying things for everybody. Going to the bank, pulled out $10,000 in cash from someone else's account and was like, here you go, here's proof. Don't worry, I'm going to put it back though, because I don't want to, do this. How is that? How does the police not see that and just arrest the dude?
I'll say it like this. Punch Dev 100% has a lot of money that he's made from scamming. I know that. I can verify that. How he does his scams, I'm going to kind of leave to the imagination and also say certain things that he shows, it's possible that he is a very good illusionist with some of the scams he's pulling, but there's other scams he's pulling that he definitely scams people.
But how do the police still not see that, regardless of how he's scamming? It's like, hey, let's at least investigate this because he's showing himself on camera.
My hunch is if he's really scamming Chase Bank with his face showing, there would be trouble. I think he's very good. I would say, I don't want to say he's a method actor because I know he's made a lot of money in a scam, but there are certain rap characters that they're not just a rapper, they're also like he's the scam rapper, and I think he plays his character to a T.
Are some of these crimes truly victimless?
That's interesting. So what he's alluding to is this person has done scams to get his money, but then he puts on a show to just make it seem like he's untouchable, and like the money he pulled out the bank to prove and all this stuff's like an illusionist is probably his money, and he's just making it look a certain way so it keeps people engaged. And I was learning something about polarity, just being polarizing, and how even though it's not, for me, it'd be uncomfortable, right, to just people hate you, but I guess there's a positive side for a lot of people hating you, like that polarizing. I guess the people who love you more and go to bat for you more. And there's actually, if you're trying to be popular, the cult of personality, all these different things, polarizing people, there's some good to it, I guess. I mean, hopefully you guys get what I'm saying. I don't know where I stand with that because I'm I'm a pretty laid back person, I think I might have a polarizing take sometimes. I don't know, man.
It seems as though everyone has like an out. Like if I steal a car, they have insurance that pays for it. If I steal from someone's debit card account, the bank is going to reimburse them anyway, so it's free.
I don't think any crime is truly victimless, most of these, because even a guy that has insurance is going to hassle them. I interviewed a guy that got his car stolen. He's like, the insurance acted like I stole my own car. Like they didn't want to give me any money. They want to give me the least amount. Like it was a 3 or 4 month hassle and nightmare to get what I should have gotten for my car. I am sure that there's people that have been evicted because of their car getting stolen, because if they're a single parent, they try and get to work. Now they can't get to work. They have to get their kid. Like it is a nightmare. So even if they are covered, there's a delay in that coverage where if my rent is due on the 1st and you scam me on the 29th and it takes Chase 10 days to reimburse my account, I am totally hosed. I have to have a very understanding landlord, and with the other bills that are automatic draw, like I might get, the withdraw, what is the fee? The overdraft fees.
Yeah.
Like you're going to get hit with a lot of things that start to add up. So for sure, it's not a victimless crime.
This clip is brought to you by our sponsor.
That's crazy. Anyways, you guys, let me know what I got, what I missed. I thought that might go a little somewhere else with the scams, be a little more in depth. I watched a couple of these clips and they were just wild. But let me tell you one of the scams that you guys got to be careful for coming out. And a lot of you guys see this on YouTube. It's these people telling you to, meet me on Telegram or meet me on this app. I have a gift for you, right? Well, what you're going to see a lot more of is AI generated influencers and accounts, and being able to, replicate an influencer or even a YouTuber like myself's voice, and be like, I'm going to give you this gift, click this link to receive it. And then they break into your accounts and start, siphoning whatever. So just be cautious of that. That's one of the key scams that I've been seeing is starting to grow, is that they're using AI likeness, the likeness of influencers, the likeness of famous people, the likeness of YouTubers to scam their fans. So just be leery of that. And there you have it. That was the interview with Tommy G about scams. Holla.
City boy, city boy.